You're listening to Bedtime Stories with Meika J, a space to slow down, breathe deep, and fall asleep to stories that speak to your soul. These stories are meant to keep you close until they don't. Tonight's story is called The Neighbor in Apartment 1226. So take a breath, get comfortable, dim the lights, and let's begin. Close your eyes. My name is Cameron Wright. I moved into the Highland Apartments on a Wednesday. The hallway smelt like warm dust and lemon cleaner. I passed apartment 1226 and noticed three things. The first thing I noticed was a small label under the apartment number that read, Quiet. I saw 5 neat tally marks in black marker beside the doorknob. And then I saw a square of frosted film over the peephole cut perfectly. No bubbles. My unit was 1218. I propped my door with the box and kept unpacking. Even with the door half shut, I heard the building breathe. The elevator's soft sigh, footsteps that landed carefully, a faint, clean scent like diluted bleach drifting from 1226, and the quick hiss of a spray bottle. I told myself I was not judging, I was only noticing. That is the oldest lie I know. The next morning, a clear plastic bottle slid from a laundry cart and tapped my shoe. White label, blue dot on the cap, the word diluted printed in tiny block letters. A woman knelt down beside 1226 and reached for it. Short hair, navy hoodie, black gloves. She looked at my mouth, not my eyes. I said, still enough to be read. Here, she replied.
Thank you.
She tapped her ear once, then her throat. Not an apology. It was a simple map of this is how you talk to me. The shape of my assumptions wobbled the way a table does when one leg is shorter than the other. At lunch, I found a laminated flyer on the lobby board. It read, Mutual Aid Pantry. Leave items in the blue bin by the freight elevator. Contact Lena Morano. Requested unscented soap, rice, pads, baby wipes, shelf milk. Her name turned a door into a person. I wrote 2 bags on a sticky note and stuck it onto my refrigerator. This felt like a promise that was small enough to keep. Near midnight, I heard 3 quick knocks at 1226. A neighbor stood there with a grocery sack and red eyes. Leela opened in that navy hoodie, gloves on. She read his lips as he spoke, nodded once. She took the bag, set it on a small folding cart, handed back a label box the size of a deck of cards, and tapped the word instructions on the sticker. No speeches, no drama. The doors closed and the quiet returned. My face was warmed with shame because I finally saw how much story I had written about her without a single paragraph of truth. Saturday, I brought those 2 bags and knocked. She opened to the chain, checked my face, then let me in. Her apartment was tidy and practical, metal shelves with clear bins, each bin labeled in the same small print as the lobby flyer. A corkboard held index cards with first names, apartment numbers, and notes. I spotted my own surname, Wright, 1218, new, watch. Leela tapped the tiny device tucked behind her ear, then wrote on a notepad and tilted it toward me. It read, Everyone watches, some people learn. She took one bag and pointed to the fret hallway. We carried together. Half the weight is still half the weight, but it feels different when your hands are not alone. Back in the corridor, I asked about the tally marks by her doorknob. She wrote, Days without panic, mine. Then she added, We count what counts. I wanted to say something polished and unforgettable, but honesty is smaller than that. I said, I want to count better things too. She smiled with her whole face and handed me a blank label. I wrote, Cameron Wright, weekends, heavy things. She stuck it to her corkboard beside the others like a brick in a steady wall. A week later, a new tenant stepped off the elevator to 1224, hood up, sunglasses indoors, a backpack slumped in a way I recognized from years I do not post online. My mind reached for a shortcut, the way a hand reaches for an old bruise. Leela caught my eye and tapped the inside of her wrist. She was reminding me to slow down and take my time. I said, Hey, I'm Cameron. Want a hand? Then we picked up what had spilled: a blanket, charger cables, a framed photo of someone swinging, hair blurred by motion. He nodded, voice small but steady. He said, Thanks. His door closed softly. On Leela's board, a new card appeared later. 1224. Check on tomorrow. Sometimes help is a sentence. Sometimes it is a system. Most days, it is both. People say don't judge a book by its cover. Well, covers are designs, and designs are sometimes meant to be judged. People are not. Better to say this: don't judge a person by the story you wrote before you met them. I thought the gloves meant danger, but they meant sanitation. I thought the bleach meant secrecy, but it meant care. I thought the quiet meant keep away, but it meant listen first. We count what counts. We carry what we can. We speak slow enough to actually hear. The next morning, a clear bag waited at my door, blue dot drawn in the corner, label in tidy print. Coffee filters. You were out. 1226. Down the hall, I saw 1226 closing, careful and quiet. I smiled before I even knew I was smiling. We all watch each other. The work is to learn what we are seeing. Thank you for listening to The Neighbor in Apartment 1226. Remember, listen first, carry what you can, and count what counts. This has been Bedtime Stories with Meika J. I hope you're able to rest well tonight. I'll see you in the dark. Good night.